Hey everybody, welcome to Stern Designs and welcome to Quick Tip Thursday. I know it's a long time since we've seen each other, but I've had sort of a busy week, and last week I was getting ready to go to the Craftsy Instructor Summit in Denver, which was an amazing time. It was this past weekend, and any of you who were watching on Facebook might have saw some of the pictures that I posted. It was really, really fun, and I learned a ton about how to use social media and how to adjust my website to make it more effective and all this other fun stuff. My mind is a little bit boggled. I have to sort of sort it all out and make a list of action items because there's so many things I want to do and change with Stern Designs that I really have to make a list. So I did that over the weekend, and I also got my Ponte knit jean pattern mailed to my pattern testers. I'm super excited about that. So if you're watching and we've been in communication for testing patterns, just know I've shot them off into the mail and they're winging their way to you as we speak. So one of the things I'm doing in addition to, getting pattern testers and doing some test fitting myself is I've been making the actual muslins. And I'm really excited about these because they're going to feature the comfort panel in the front. And this morning I was trying it on my friend Marie, and she commented that she really liked the way the front of the muslin felt because it had that non-stretch panel. So I'm really excited about this pattern, and it's getting so close to being finished. I thought what I would do today for a quick tip is talk about sewing Ponte knit. Now, Ponte knit is available in a lot of different fiber contents. For my muslins, I'm using a 100% polyester Ponte knit, and I've noticed this with this one because I'm sewing together muslins, and I've also noticed it with some of my poly rayon blends that if you just sew the seam, just let it feed by itself, it tends to pucker. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, and then I'm going to show you how to get a nice smooth seam. All right, so one of the challenges with working with this Ponte knit is when you're doing top stitching, I'm having some issues with the tension being perfect, and I want this nice professional looking top stitching using the heavier top stitch thread. So in the next few weeks I will have tips on how to get great top stitching as well. But right now I just want to talk about, constructing your seam. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've made two pieces of Ponte knit here. I'm going to use a regular stitch, straight stitch, and I'm going to use the default setting because a lot of times when I start sewing I forget to adjust my stitch, and I just want to show you what happens. Just stitching along. I'm just letting the feed dogs feed the fabric under the presser foot. You can see that it's sort of rippled. Okay, so it's sort of gathered up as I stitched. And the interesting thing is this isn't going across the fabric, so it's going perpendicular to the stretch of the fabric. So it's going with the grain line. And you can see I've got this puckering going on. So now what I want to do is I want to show you how to stitch it without getting that puckering. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my presser foot down, and I'm going to start stitching, and as I start stitching I'm going to pull the fabric front and back. And I'm not going to stop it from going under the presser foot, but I'm not going to pull it out from the back either. That's called taut sewing. So basically I'm holding the fabric taut or snug between my hands like this, and I'm just going to stitch along, sort of just gently stretching it. There's not a lot of stretch going in the lengthwise direction. You can see as I pull it there's very little give. But what happens is if I stretch it out and then let it stitch, you're going to see it's a much smoother stitch. Now notice how flat that is. It's perfect, and I haven't even pressed it. So that would be the secret to stitching a knit that puckers up with the tension on the needle. And I have found that this works for a lot of different knits as well. A lot of stable knits tend to get pulled up by the tension of the thread. And if you just sort of taut sew, sort of hold your fingers away from each other as you feed the fabric. So you're just sort of feeding it through like this. Okay, hold it taut and feed it through. You should have a nice smooth seam. The other benefit to that is you've actually stretched it a little bit. So now when I pull on this seam, it's not going to pop stitches. Versus if I pull on this one, I don't know if you can hear, but did you hear that? I pop stitches. So not stretching the fabric as you sew also creates pop stitches. So if you're using your sewing machine, this is a great tip for constructing things on the sewing machine if you don't have a serger. All right, so that's my quick tip for today. It's, I think, in the spirit of a quick tip. Next week, I will be back on my regular schedule, and we'll do a JSD TV on Tuesday, and it probably will be something Ponte knit related. And then on Thursday, I'll have another Ponte knit tip for you as well. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm actually going to be going to watch volleyball this weekend. My daughter has a tournament in Springfield, Mass. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you for JSD TV on Tuesday.